Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So this road right here, it splits down the middle, and it's a U.S.-Canada border, which I'm curious where this actually is, because being from upstate New York, I wonder if it's close to New York, but at the same time, it could be on the other side. Canada's just so big. It could be like literally, it could be anywhere. It's just so big. So we're going to dive into this video. This is titled "The U.S. Canada Border Splits This Road Down the Middle" from Tom Scott. Original link will be in the description. So with that being said, what's smoking all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats over achieving, never slacking, and we about to dive into, or we about to fly over to Canada. Here we go.
I'm not allowed to cross this road because this is the town of Stansted, Canada. On the other side of the street.
Let me stop right there, right? Real quick. I hate, for some reason, I just dislike, I'm not allowed to cross this road. I'm looking forward to a new age coming where we no longer have all these like borders and stuff, right? I mean, there's always going to be like borders, like this person's over here, but it's like, well, we can freely access those places because it'll be such more of a peaceful vibe. Now, a lot of people think I'm just living in my head, and yeah, it sounds good, but no, I believe that time is coming.
Street is Derby Line, USA, and the border between the two countries runs right down this, Rue Canusa. For the local residents, that can be inconvenient.
I lived here all my life, so 63 years. Today, you cannot cross over the line and visit your neighbors like years ago. If you want to cross, you have to report at customs. You know, I used to cross every day. Now I probably cross once a week because I come down to the post office over.
Wait a minute. You can't visit your neighbors. You can't, and what makes it crazier is how he said, back in the day you could though. You could cross it freely. Now you can't cross it as freely anymore. Wow. Wow. Think about that in the world for a second. I know people are going to say, there's laws and regulations and it's like that for a reason and blah, blah, blah. Nah, that ain't how we supposed to live.
Like years ago. If you want to cross, you have to report at customs. You know, I used to cross every day. Now I probably cross once a week because I come down to the post office over here. To go through the border, basically they ask you your passport. They go inside. I guess they look at if you have a record or not. They look at your registration of your car. About a couple minutes and you're gone through. I'm a dual citizen, so I'm American and Canadian, so it's easier.
This is a place where the idea of a border as a solid, easy-to-understand line gets a little bit fuzzy. The road doesn't run at exactly the same angle as the border, not precisely. The official line is that this is Canada and that's the USA, but both countries' maps show the road as being entirely in the US just here and entirely in Canada up there. The houses are definitely in separate countries, but the road, it's not quite as clear. And in practice, if I was driving, I'd be okay. Even on that side of the road, I am considered to be still in Canada, as long as I don't stop and walk up to an American house. It's fair to say that there's a little bit of leniency here if you're just nudging the border by a few centimetres, or if you're on that side a couple of inches. But while I was setting up my camera here, the police turned up, lights flashing, to move along those bikers you saw earlier, who were admiring the view from the other side of the road. It all seemed in good spirits, but they had crossed the border.
Well, the library is part on the Canadian side, part on the American side. But you stay on Canadian side, you stay on the sidewalk, and you go through the front door, and it's permitted. On Canusa Street, there's a sidewalk on the Canadian side. So back years ago, it was tolerated that people on the American side could cross over and walk on the sidewalk. So, basically it's a little dangerous to walk on the side of the road. And now today, well, it's not tolerated no more. I think the rules hasn't changed much, but they're more enforced. When you cross, they ask you more questions than they used to, years ago. Before, you went through the border and you knew most of the custom officer, and they used to wave to you,
In 1783, this section of the Canada-US border was set at the 45th parallel, a line of latitude. Slightly inaccurate measurements were accepted by both countries. So it was locked in. But as for this specific road, there are local stories about drunk surveyors and pranks, but no one really knows.
Crazy. Wow. I bet that elder right there, that senior, he missing the old days, like damn. Imagine right now, with everything that's been going on. Imagine how more strict they've gotten on those rules. And man, that's wild. Can't visit your neighbor if they're on the other side without having a passport. Ooh, listen, I believe in a golden age. I believe all that. I believe we're headed there. Trust me. So give it about 15 to 20 more years, and I think humans have it a lot more, way more together than I think everything going on now has woken up a lot of people. I mean, you can look around and see it, but it depends on what eyes you're looking with. If you're looking for the bad, you're gonna find the bad. Simple. But y'all let me know what y'all think in these comments. If you're from Canada or America and you tend to live on one of these borders, let me know how are things now. What is it like now? And I will be back with more soon. Much love.